My name's Trevor Joseph, you're watching Rolling Slow Media, and this is Jerome's Project Hulk. Jerome,
Trevor,
thank you so much for coming on the channel on this beautiful sunny day.
Yeah, definitely picked the right weather for it.
Wow, it's meant to be like spring and it feels like autumn.
Yeah.
Autumn/winter.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, for sure.
But you're out in this beautiful car and Jesus Christ, dude, this thing is heavily modified. There's a lot to ask about this. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
But before I do, just tell us about yourself.
So
Jerome.
I'm Jerome Bird. We were speaking on camera about, our petrol head fathers. So we both have a petrol head father. Also had it on the virus spread to my mum's side as well. So my mum's brothers, they're also into cars also. So it's on both sides of the family. I remember being a kid and all my dad and my uncles on my mom's side would talk about when they get together with cars.
Yeah.
And I could, by the age of 5 years old, I could tell you make and model of every car that went by. So I think it was always written in the stars for me to get into cars. But yeah, I mean, I modified loads of cars. Whenever I get a car, I can't just leave it alone. I have to try to make my perfect, my perfect example of that, as I see it anyway, because everyone has a different view of cars.
So what's your car history like? What did you start with and how did you end up here?
I started with Alphas.
Really?
Yeah, so my dad and his brothers had a whole bunch of Alphas. So I started with Alphas. I owned the Alpha 75, Alpha Sud, 164 with the 3-litre V6, the Busso. The engines got bigger over time.
Yeah.
So I started off with smaller cars. And then I moved into Porsche. I had a few.
Wow, straight into Porsche.
Yeah, I got a couple of Boxsters, 986s.
Okay.
And then I got a Porsche bike. That's when I really got into those. But I didn't want to spend too much on the boxes because of the value of them. So you're spending a lot of money on a car and also if you want to be able to turn the car into something that people are going to want, other people other than yourself, people can't see themselves buying a super expensive
cheers, buddy.
So that drew me to 997s. It was always between a 996 and 997 for me. But the 997 was kind of has that little bit of a modern feel to it, but still has the organic.
Is this your first 997?
It is my first 997,
Right.
Yeah, as you know, they suffer with bore scoring. So I actually had 4 inspections and they all had bore score.
Really?
Yeah, they all had bore score. And then this was the 5th one.
Yeah.
And this had very, very mild bore scoring.
Hold on, so you had 4 inspections on the one car?
On
different cars, every car you checked?
They all had really great history, low mileage. Because originally I was considering getting a convertible, but they all had bore score.
Yeah.
And I came to the conclusion that pretty much all of them do. Because I when I did the inspection, I had them do the bore scoping, the camera and that. But when you actually do that, sometimes they don't have symptoms. But they're still scored. And even this has very, very light scoring. But I've had this car for 2 years, used 1040 mil as well, and I've had it scoped again every year, and it's never worse.
Been right. Yeah, I do feel like all 997s will eventually suffer from that issue. And even though you might find ones that have low mileage and are in great condition, there's no getting away from the fact that eventually at some point they will get that problem.
My theory with it is that I think they all develop it very mildly, all of them, but you don't get symptoms. It's only when you get symptoms that most people get the bore scope when it gets really bad. But I think they've all pretty much got it. Doesn't mean it's going to get worse anytime soon, but I think left unchecked, this is a low mileage car, so it's like 50,000 now. But by the time we get to 100, it might get worse.
Cool. All right, so let's dive into this. What's inspired you to go this far out? Like, where did it all begin?
Sure. So, I mean, I've always been a big fan of the 997.1 over the 2. I think it just looks a little bit more old school. It's got that slightly kind of rawer, less refined look.
Yes.
And I was considering getting a GT3. But then I was looking at the GT3s and I thought, well, if I get a GT3, there's lots of things I'm going to change with the car anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't think the power would be enough for me. So I decided to just start from scratch. Obviously, the standard Carrera has the same body.
Yeah.
It's just suspension, engine, interior, and body kit. So I decided to just start from scratch. So I bought on the cheap a 997 with slight bore scoring, which made it even cheaper. And I've just gone about building the car out from the ground up.
Ooh. So what's the list of mods? Because this looks extensive.
Yeah, I mean, so far we haven't really touched the engine.
Yeah.
From a remap. We're going to get to that. So we're going to build a 4.1 litre supercharged engine. So far, what we've done is body kit.
Yeah.
So this is a GT3 inspired front bumper. Although, as we know, the front splitters of the GT3s, they scrape like nobody.
Yeah,
So
I noticed this. How
this does not scrape. I had this custom built. So yeah, we designed this from scratch in CAD and had it printed out effectively. So this whole thing here, this lip, is custom. The front bumper is pretty much GT3 inspired. These are 992 style headlights.
Yeah, I've seen these. Are these the daytime running ones?
Yes, daytime
nice.
Yeah. So we've got 2 sets of daytime.
I've been after a set of these guys. Trust me, I've been after a set of these.
Yeah, Morimoto in America. They're really good brand.
Yeah.
And they work really well. They're good. We've got obviously the side skirts. These again are custom side skirts. GT freestyle rear bumper. We have a straight for exhaust.
Right.
Literally straight for at the moment, just because I like it.
and are your neighbours happy with that?
No. So when I start the car up in the morning, I just drive it.
Yeah. You don't push it out the driveway.
That probably would be the best solution. We've got the interior. So we've got GT3 inspired bucket seats.
Yeah.
We've got the harnesses. I've just had the Alcantara done, so there's a whole bunch of Alcantara done on the inside. 9.9 1.2 steering wheel.
Nice.
Again, rewrapped in Alcantara. That's actually a GT3 steering wheel, so it's smaller, more compact. We've got the harness bar. We have the BBS alloys, 19-inch rims, running spacers at the moment. And just various carbon fiber trim on the car, as you can see, all around.
So what's the plan for this car? What's the because I think off camera you said how this is like a project mule car. This is something that you're developing for a reason.
Yeah, this is called Project Hulk. So this is a prototype, and the goal with it is once it's finished and we're happy with it, we've been extensively testing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Next step is the engine. Once we've done that and the suspension and everything and the brakes, and we've tested it again for a good 10,000 miles. Yeah. Then we will be launching the car into production. So we're going to do a limited run of cars.
So will someone like Singer do? You bring your car to Singer, and then they will turn it into a Singer RestoMod. Is this your idea?
Very similar. So they can either, if they have a car, they can bring in a 997 to us. Yeah. And then we can spec it out, go through the option to build the car out. Or we can source a 997 for them. So if they don't have one and they just want to buy one, we can source one and do the build.
So it's like a modern RestoMod. I think, what would you call it? What would you call it?
It's interesting because the resto part of RestoMod is kind of indicates it's a full restoration. So it's not old enough to really be considered a RestoMod, I don't think. It's more of a reimagining of a modern classic is how I describe it. You might have to come up with a new word. Well,
I feel like we should jump in this car and take this for a spin. Because I really want to know what that straight pipe sounds like.
She's loud.
and what them seats feel like, you know? But yeah, man, let's jump in it. Go for a spin.
Cool, let's do it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm in. I feel like I'm about to go around the Nürburgring. I'm about to go for a passenger lap around the Nürburgring.
Go there if you want, you know, it's only a few hours away.
Jesus, I love it. Okay, right, let's hit the road because we've got a lot of questions to ask you. Right, guys, we are not going to the Nürburgring. We're just driving around Stevenage. But I definitely do feel like I'm about to set some lap times. So you had the whole interior done in Alcantara and carbon?
Yeah, it's all Alcantara and carbon.
Yeah.
So there'll be a couple of options in the end. I've left the leather at the top.
Yeah.
So it's a personal preference thing. I've just gone with Alcantara at the bottom and obviously the carbon fiber parts here. So
I really like the steering wheel. That's a dot one? Sorry, dot two?
991.2, yeah.
Ah, okay.
It definitely makes it feel faster with the sound, doesn't it?
Yeah. It feels like a GT. Well, I don't know what a GT3. Well, actually, no. I have been in a GT3. This feels a lot louder than a GT3. This is more like a GT3 RS.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's probably louder than GT3 RS, to be honest with you. It's very okay. Yeah, so it is a lot louder, but it's very similar in feel in terms of the sound deadening's gone. So I've removed all the sound deadening in the back. So it just has that. You can hear the engine, the induction more.
Yeah.
You can hear the stones, the gravel going up in the wheel arch, you know.
Yeah, this is a definite track car.
Yeah.
Like it's about as track as you could possibly get for a road car, right? So tell us about the quick shift.
Yeah, so this is actually a CA shifter, but we've adapted it slightly. As you can see, the head here is very different. Those people that are watching that know how CA shifter normally looks in 997. It has a very different head on it. So it's like a silver or white one, and it's kind of pear-shaped. So we've adapted it here because it just feels a little bit nicer to grab something bigger like that, you know. But yeah, it's a CA shifter. It's a short shifter, and it shifts real nice. There are other options out there, but it's my personal favorite. And also it's close to the steering wheel, so you don't have to take your hands off the wheel. We don't have to travel so far. So that is actually one of my favorite things we've done to the car actually so far. Is that and the light flywheel.
Yeah. And could you feel the difference when you did the flywheel mod?
It doesn't make much of a difference in power. It's only like 7 horsepower, so you don't notice that, but you definitely notice it revs much quicker, and it just sounds so good.
Yeah.
Because you know, when you rev the car even at idle and stationary, it gives it that kind of race car sound, you know. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite mods so far.
Even though it's for the road, like it really more feels like it's for the track, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's
actually keep going around. We're gonna go down that way.
Down there, yeah. Coming off here?
Yeah, go down that way.
Yeah, this car really is more for someone who wants to take a 997 all the way. They want to go beyond GT3 RS level. Because when we're finished, it's going to have more power than a GT3 RS 4 litre, way more. So we're going to have 610 horsepower. They only came with 500. But you're still going to get that naturally aspirated sound.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, is just to make the most extreme version of the 997. Without turbocharging. Obviously with turbos you can go to the moon and back 1,500 horsepower. But
so if I brought my car to you and I wanted you to give it this modern RestoMod, what would it cost me?
The price? It's going to be way less, orders of magnitude less than the Singer. We haven't tied the price down completely yet because we're still a prototype. So we're only going to understand how much it costs us to build it once this one's finished.
Right.
But you know, Singers, they start at about 1.1 million for a turbo design. And the DLS I think is more like 2.73 million. These are going to be way less.
Right.
Orders of magnitude less. You can think of this as more of an example of what can be done.
We'll go around and come back.
The drivetrain won't be customizable. So it will come with 610 horsepower supercharged 4.1 litre. But the rest of it, the way it looks, the exterior, the interior, all of that, you can spec it however you want, you know.
Right.
Coming off here.
Keep going around, we'll head back. So what's like inspired you to do this? What's kind of been the driving force for you to want to build a modern RestoMod?
I've always been obsessed with the 997 and the way it looks. And I could spend hours looking at loads of examples on Pinterest, on YouTube, different builds that have been made, standard GT3 RSs, and this is kind of everything coming together for me.
Yeah.
It's like me pulling together the best parts for me that I've seen in 997s and pulling them all into one vehicle, essentially. But I wanted to have a kind of a race car for the road feel, which is the GT3, but more extreme.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different taste.
Race car for the road plus plus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I've tried to you know, do the build, essentially.
Nice.
This car's got a much more of a dark look inside. That's the look.
I do like that feel though. You know what? It feels 997.2-ish.
Yeah.
Because this is like grey on the dot ones. Is this a dot 2 face?
It's a dot 1 face that we've had painted.
Right.
Effectively, yeah.
Okay.
Straight over here.
Yeah. No, keep going around and up there. Yeah, these roundabouts confuse me, man. But I think this is where we came from.
Well, it has been remapped. It's had a custom remap, not a standard remap to this car, which was done by Wizards Exhaust in Manchester. He's like the guru for Porsches and tapping into the ECUs. So yeah, it's making good power. Also, it's a straight for exhaust, so there's no restriction. Yeah. I've just got 2 cats and it's straight out. Straight out.
Yeah, it sounds loud.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing this evolve. Like, I'm really liking where it is. For me, this looks like it's complete. But for you, I can see that, yeah, like the sky, you haven't hit the limit yet.
Yeah.
You know, there's more to come. So yeah, I definitely will be watching your progress. Speaking of watching, are you on Instagram or YouTube? Is there any?
Yeah, so everyone go follow me on Instagram, and that will evolve into brand over time.
Guys, I will stick a link to his Instagram below so you can follow along with this impressive creation. And yeah, and if you have a 997 and you're inspired to have modifications like this, he's the guy. Like, so yeah, I'll put a link below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. This car is sick. It's definitely given me ideas. I'm definitely going to be coming to you for a few little tweaks because I think my interior could do with a bit of a refresh. Yeah, these are nice. Anyway, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications and share this content with anyone who likes this sort of stuff. I've been Trevor Joseph. You've been watching Rolling Stone Media, and this is Jerome's GT3 inspired GT3. Dude, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah.